Hello there guys, it's Joey. So I've decided to share something that I'm doing myself going forward, and it's going to replace the Oracle vlog videos. The Oracle vlog videos were getting to be increasingly personal to the point where there are certain things I just didn't want to share because it was particularly personal work. And as of the full moon last night, I started working with and journaling the new Prisma Visions Tarot. And I quickly realised the deep significance of the journaling process for this particular deck for me. It spoke to me in leaps and bounds and volumes unlike anything else. And I realised that each time I start working with a card and interpreting it and looking at the meanings and how I feel about the card and the imagery and my interpretations of it, I can share that with the world and not share the more personal aspects of it. So that's what we're going to do. Either every week or every other week, depending on where I'm at with the card in question, I'm going to look at it and journal it and write down my feelings and meanings and interpretations as I see them, and that I'm going to share and talk about. So before we actually get into that, this is the setup for the imbuing of the cards with crystals that I chose last night with the full moon energies. And people have asked about, particularly about the Tanzine Aura quartz. So I thought I would just run over these three quickly and talk about why they're there and which ones they are and some of their meanings. And then we're going to talk about the meanings of the first card, which really spoke to me, and the journaling process which I started. So this is Tanzine Aura quartz, this is a labradorite generator, and this is a scolecite wand. I think we'll start with the Tanzine Aura quartz because a lot of people have asked about the Tanzine Aura quartz. I will grab the meanings from the Book of Stones because it's a really good reference point. And I like giving you a reference point. Kierman, where are you? I had it on the page and the thing fell out. Oh, never mind. Okay, scolecite is first. Scolecite has fallen open. So the wand is scolecite, and that's to do with the interdimensional travel, awakening the heart, element of wind, the third eye chakra and the crown chakra. Whilst there is a huge energy of inner peace connected with this card, it helps one to open yourself up gently to your higher nature, connecting with the higher self level of consciousness. And that is particularly useful when working with tarot because you're opening up into your higher self for your slightly deeper understanding of the card itself. Aha, there you go, I just flicked the page and it found it. Tanzine Aura quartz is psychic ability, direct inner knowing, recognising one's spiritual blueprint, element of storm, again the third eye chakra, the crown chakra, as well as the soul star. From the perspective of the Book of Stones, there are only very few colour enhanced stones which are energetically active, this being one of them. This stone is produced when clear quartz points or clusters go through a special treatment process in which their surfaces are bonded with vaporized or finely powdered indium, niobium, gold and other trace metals. Has an energy likeness to tanzanite. Tanzanite's a very special stone for me. And the spiritual meaning of Tanzan aura quartz. Oh, I've been saying Tanzine. Sorry people, it's Tanzan. Tanzan aura quartz swiftly raises the vibration signature of the user, expands their personal mandala or original blueprint, helps you to access information in the Akashic record. Useful for inner and outer journeys. Your raised vibration signature will help you see a thinning of the veil between various planes of consciousness, allowing for clear communication with guides and other enlightened beings from dimensions not usually available to you. And then the centre, of course, is labradorite, which is magic protection, all chakras, element again of wind. There's a strong element of wind working through this week. So it can help you awaken your innate magical powers, as well as mental and intuitive abilities, which include but are not limited to clairvoyance, telepathy, astral travel, prophecy, psychic reading, access to Akashic records, past life recall, communication with higher guides and spirits, as well as coincidence control, the practice of increasing the observed degree of synchronicity and serendipity in one's life. So they all fit with the energies of imbuing the cards. So I just thought I would quickly give a quick run over of that. And the card that I started connecting with, let's hope, it's a little bit glary. How about if we move the ball on? Is that better? Much worse, okay. I wonder. Excuse me one moment. There we go. Ta-da! It's magic, didn't you know? Right. So, from the booklet, first of all, as the mists roll away, a man's heart opens to the sun. His juggled chalices are suspended in a single burnished, meaning well polished, arc over his head. He has reached perfect equilibrium, and he knows it too. Revelling in the beauty all around him, blissful, serene, his purpose fulfilled, he settles back into his seat to watch the sunset. The Nine of Chalices is all about satisfaction. Some ongoing cycle is nearing completion, and you are about to be fulfilled and at peace. Like the sunset, this will not last forever, but its effervescent beauty makes it all the more precious. Treasure this moment, for its memory will bring you warmth on grey, rainy days. Side note, sunset, dusk and autumn, which it's the energy of autumn running through the chalices, are all my favourite times of day or year. The entrance to the night, I feel most alive, magical and powerful at these points. Chalice is obviously relating to love, emotion, intuition and inundation. And then my own observations and journaling of the card. Firstly, I much prefer the term chalice over cups. That and the mention of mist in the description makes me think of Avalonic energy. The man in the picture even appears to be in front of a sunset over a lake with two islands sort of opposite each other within them. So there you go, you have your islands there. The placing of his arms along the bench is in perfect balance and serenity in the moment, as well as giving him the energy of embracing. I'm going to zoom in for that a bit so you can see the hands. Embracing. He's embracing the feeling the sunset gives him. From his cupped, relevant to the energy of the cup's chalice, yet outstretched hands. This pose could also be reminiscent of that of a juggler in the moment of balance before action begins again, lending power to the idea that this blissful state is a moment, temporary but no less beautiful for it. Each day the sun is at its most glorious in the moments of its birth and the moments of its death. Each is a moment of limitless power, potential, and possibility. Joanne Morris, 2015. The man bench cups are mostly in shadow with highlights of beauty and light. This is true of the tree as well. This again speaks to the evocative nature of memory. Certain memories become more beautiful in time as we paint over the ugly parts. The Nine of Chalices, with its moment of tremendous beauty, reminds us that the importance of such moments in life, precious even more so for being fleeting and little. It's also a reminder of the romanticised parts of memory. Remember the shadow as well as the highlight, especially in memory, in matters of the heart. Seek balance in the remembering. The slotted nature of the bench here also reaffirms this. The man is comfortable and relaxed here, but we are only glimpsing him through this moment through the fingers of the bench. We do not know how long the journey to this point, which is journey's end, the sunset, the pause before the next step, was. We do not see the hardship or the cost. That is not to take away from this moment of joy, peace and balance. Rather, it makes it more valuable, more precious. A well-earned moment of respite. The wind blows in from the west of this card, or left to right. Okay, let's just, so you can see the wind there a bit better. And starts to move the man's hair, barely, and behind him bubbles and skeletons of leaves stir and begin to move. The energy of movement is never truly gone, even in such moments as this. The past is still there and the future still beckons. Further, it speaks to the churning movement of emotion that this moment, or the sunset, represents. The man is turned away from us, relaxed and mostly shadowed, so his emotional state, or how affected he is by the sunset, is arguably unknown to us. Instead, it is a reflection or shadow of how we, the reader, feel about this scene, moment, or memory. The stir of emotion, represented by wind and leaves, is definitely present, but it is us that need to fill in the blanks here. The tree next to him presents the man with shelter from the wind, and there are two trees as well in the distance, one on each island, making it a quite clear gateway in front of the man in the distance, both for the destination of the setting sun, its death on passage to the under or other world, as well as for the man or our in the coming future. New emotional journeys await. The journey to Avalon, often by death in one form or another, equates to rebirth. That would be tied to sort of Arthurian going and being reborn in Avalon. Avalon, known as the Isle of Apples, is connected with knowledge, and knowledge can be represented as the sum of our memories. This reminds me of lyrics from the Baz Luhrmann Sunscreen song, this is how old I am, this is showing my age. Be careful whose advice you buy, but be patient with those that supply it. Advice is a form of nostalgia. Dispensing it is a way of fishing the past from the disposal, wiping it off, painting over the ugly parts, and recycling it for more than it's worth. Trees, of course, also speak to language, particularly the Druidic form of the Ogham alphabet, which form a lot of our memories, the way we formulate the memories of emotion into relatable advice for others or even ourselves. The stories we tell ourselves because of the memory. The tree on the left, west, is protective, strong, rooted, grounded. It shields the man, or arguably us, represented by the man, from the wind, the past. The past, therefore, is semi-stopped from disturbing the moment of peace. The tree also the tree, along with the other two in the future, in the distance on the islands, provide markers, points in time that ground us into our reality. The bubbles and skeletal leaves are ghosts of what's yet to come, stretching from right future, not quite touching the left, past. Oh, you can't actually see them at the minute. You see down here. Let's see if I can zoom in and move the camera a little. Hang on. There we go. The bubbles and leaves are the ghost of what is yet to come, stretching from the right future, not quite touching the left past. They are the whisperings of potential. They are not fully formed or coloured in the picture or card, indicative of their nature, the bare bones which for the moment go unacknowledged by the man. He pays them no heed. He appreciates the glorious passing of the sun instead. This moment, this journey, he is fully present. The colour in this card is presented as two strong elements, air and fire. The air is presented as the coloured representation of the wind encroaching from the past. It spirals and almost wraps around itself, and the overwhelming shade here is of fuchsia pink. Pink can relate to the heart chakra and the emotions, but in colour magic, particularly to do with breaking spells, fuchsia is given as breaking spells of procrastination. It could be a warning not to linger too long in the enjoyment of this moment. Air also intrudes into the sunset in its inky blue shades of night sky, reaffirming that movement is natural, inevitable, and even desirable. Fire here is the golden sun and the crescendo of colour that permeates the sky as it sets. It made me think of the quote by Dylan Thomas, which we'd also watched Interstellar recently, so it sort of had double punch. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at the close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. This advice on how to die sort of combines the idea that death is natural, as is light and dark, but one should fight every step to live as fully and completely as one can. It is human nature to fear change and death, but the words here speak of something else. Dying without the effort of first having lived as fully as one can is a terrible tragedy. Instead, seek to fully embrace one's full potential, so that memories such as this abound. The sun here sets into the water between the two isles. It is then not permanent death, but a doorway, a beginning and rebirth. Therefore, my overall feeling so far about this card is savour the precious memories and take their moments of peace with you as you are reborn. Many blessings.